How's it going, everyone? Welcome back. Your Average Gamer here. Real quick, I wanted to talk about a concept idea that I think would be really cool. Granted, EA runs the Star Wars franchise. I think they have all of the rights currently to Star Wars and games that are made with Star Wars. And we all know EA has a tendency to just not really update much or do a whole lot with their games, as seen in most of the sports games that they make every year. Nothing's really upgraded. Maybe they'll do one or two upgrades a year. But as far as the Star Wars games that they do, the Battlefront series, those have been... they've been pretty good. I was very hesitant to get the second game because I didn't care for the story of it. The graphics, I have to say, are always good in those games. And they're always reasonably well put together. The one thing I've always found terrible about them, though, is the lightsaber combat with, like, if it's Luke versus Darth Vader, it's kind of just, I don't know, it's very clunky. And as a For Honor player, I thought, how cool would it be if EA just took Ubisoft's concept of how they made their fighter and then contributed that to a lightsaber game, or you could say Chivalry, something like that, and then converted it to a Star Wars game. But for the purposes of this video, I wanted to go on the idea of Star Wars with a For Honor concept, because obviously we have plenty of Jedi, Sith, and stuff that we could play and use. And if we think about like an Anakin Skywalker type of thing, right? You have multiple customizations you could go with, same as what we would want in For Honor. You could go with a dark side, light side, maybe with one robotic arm or stuff like that, where you could go before he had the robotic arm, you could go blue, red lightsaber, kind of whatever you would want to do. And as far as feats go, because obviously For Honor has feats in their 4v4 game modes and all that kind of stuff, you could still do the exact same thing where he has like a force choke, a force choke that does a certain amount of damage. You could have another one that, like the bow where you throw the lightsaber, similar to Battlefront. There's plenty that you could do that would, in my opinion, be very interesting. And as far as converting a For Honor game to a Star Wars game, you could simply, like the Breach mode that we all have here, we could convert that the same way, where it's similar to a castle defense, but set in more of a Star Wars setting. So, you know, the troops at the front of the gates and stuff like that are stormtroopers, and it's kind of a strewn battlefield rather than all of them being on one exact spot. And it could be you have to get over the wall and pull up certain levers or this, that, or the other thing to open the gate to get into the next area. And then the final boss could be, for one, they could be, let's say Darth Vader for one, and then another one could be this, that, the other thing. Or you could have, you could, you know, do whatever you want in terms of bosses. But if we really look at the Star Wars lore, legacy, and all that kind of stuff, we have plenty of characters to go with, and Battlefront 2 does have a lot of the characters, but like I said, the combat feels clunky. And I know For Honor has the annual lightsaber thing where we all get to have lightsabers for a day, and I find that to be really cool. I enjoy it. The one thing I would say, though, is I would like to see an entire game based around that, a futuristic, you know, Star Wars style of game where we get Force abilities like feats, we get to use our lightsabers, but I don't want it to be like a Battlefront game where it's very clunky, you're kind of flying all over the place. Yes, the characters are strong and all that kind of stuff, but they're very clunky. I would love to see a For Honor style to it, and the Jedi could obviously, and the Sith could obviously have like a jump ability. I'm not sure how they would do that, since For Honor has no jumping and stuff like that. That could be thought out. But the real question here is, would EA ever make a game like this? And I don't think that they would, for the sole fact that I don't see them making games similar to Ubisoft. Ubisoft has a track record, essentially, at this point, like For Honor and Rainbow Six, the Assassin's Creed-ish games. So they have a tendency to make a game and then try to make it last as long as possible. Assassin's Creed they were doing every year for a while, so they kind of stopped doing that at some point. But there's a couple Ubisoft titles that they still try to keep alive as long as possible, and I think if EA actually took the time to make a game that was like For Honor but Star Wars, that I would play the living crap out of that. I do love the medieval setting, and I've always been a medieval fan, but I will say that if there was a Star Wars related one, I'd also play the crap out of that. And this is more going into, I said that For Honor could make a For Honor 2 but more fantasy based. I did a video on that recently, and I think that due to the idea that a lot of people enjoy the idea of it going more fantasy, which obviously it's going more and more into fantasy because they're running out of ideas, I would love to see another title come in and kind of run with their own thing. I think that'd be really cool to have Star Wars style. Now, as far as For Honor and them going forward, I'm not 100% sure where they're going to want to go or what the idea is for them. I'm not really sure what they want to do. I think it'd be cool if we could just have all time periods within a reasonable thought process here. Like, it sounds stupid, but what if we had a Neanderthal that was just running around with a club? I mean, that'd be funny. I mean, but that's basically Yorm. Yorm screams enough for that. But let me know down below, do you guys think that you would enjoy a Star Wars related For Honor? I mean, we only get it for what, about a week when it does come out to For Honor, and it's still with our characters that we have been playing and we know. Would you enjoy seeing it where you could play Darth Maul, Sidious, you could play all these other characters, Yoda, stuff like that, Luke, where you'd actually get to play these characters? Now, I know that would kind of ruin what EA's going for, because there's a lot of characters that use guns, particularly Boba Fett and stuff like that. But there are Mandalorians that use white swords that are essentially lightsabers, similar at least, that Boba Fett could use something like that. Or I don't know how they do the balancing where maybe Boba Fett is able to still fly around. He has the sword as his main weapon for some reason. I don't know. And then his first feat is to shoot the lasers, and his second feat's to shoot the flamethrower type of stuff. And you could just say he does that a little bit more. I'm not really sure how they would balance certain characters, but if it was just Jedi versus Sith, and that's the game, and it had the same combat as For Honor, I think I'd play the crap out of it. Let me know what you guys think down below. This was just a short video where I wanted to talk about my opinions, since For Honor's kind of in a dry season right now, which I thought was kind of funny with the setting of this season. I'm just kind of waiting for the new character. There's nothing super interesting out right now other than some of the reworks, but I'm doing the Try Not to Lose series, and as far as my Rainbow Six content goes, I'm trying to hit level 50 on PC. That way I can actually start doing ranked. I'm going to do ranked on console and on PC and see the differences there. I at least want to get gold on both. That would at least make me happy. I'm going to solo queue, of course. But let me know what you guys think down below. Let me know if you have any other games you'd like to see. And before you click off, don't forget to like, sub, and leave me a comment. What do you guys think of the idea? Do you think EA would even bother looking at a Ubisoft title and being like, maybe we can take their thunder? Or do you think that they just don't care? Because they could just keep the models from Battlefront 2 and then just change the combat around. They could easily take the model of how the characters look in that. And I think it'd be really cool. They already have all the sound effects and stuff like that. But this may just be a dream that it ever happens. But regardless, I hope you guys enjoyed. I'll see you in the next one. Thanks for watching.